The age-old question, how did the Egyptians build the pyramids? This puzzle has intrigued historians since ancient Greece, confused Napoleon's archaeologists, and has been the subject of jokes up to this day. For over 4,000 years, the question has haunted engineers, archaeologists, and dreamers. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to build their first pyramid without cranes, concrete, or any modern machinery? The Step Pyramid of Djoser, towering in Saqqara, marked the beginning of Egypt's golden age of architecture. Yet even now, its creation defies logic. The common explanations have never quite fit. While we are almost certain they started from the ground up, the true process of construction remains a mystery. There are countless theories, ramps, cranes, and yes, even aliens. The angles were too perfect, the stones too heavy, the process too precise to be purely human work. Something has been missing, until now. In this video, we'll explore the new discoveries and theories emerging, which may finally shed light on one of humanity's greatest mysteries. In 2024, a groundbreaking discovery shook the world of archaeology, leaving experts astounded and casting new light on one of the greatest mysteries of ancient history. What seemed like just another theory about how the Egyptians built the pyramids turned into a radical answer that challenges everything we thought we knew. This revelation was so shocking that it gained coverage on primetime television, discussed by names like Lester Holt. The question that has puzzled scientists and archaeologists for millennia finally started to have an answer, and the truth. It could change our understanding of Egyptian civilization forever. It all began with the Step Pyramid of Djoser, the first great pyramid of Egypt, built over 4,600 years ago. Located in the Saqqara necropolis, this structure was the starting point of a revolution in architecture. Before Djoser's pyramid, pharaohs were buried in mastabas, simple, flat tombs made of mud bricks. But Djoser, the visionary king, and his architect Imhotep took a step further, raising a stone pyramid. This was no ordinary pyramid. It had 6 stacked platforms and stood over 60 meters tall, a monumental structure representing a ruler's ascent to the realm of the gods. Imhotep, a genius of engineering and architecture, combined his vast knowledge of mathematics, design, and religious symbolism to create something that would never be forgotten. The Step Pyramid had a profound purpose, a sacred function, to ensure the pharaoh's safe transition to the afterlife while establishing his eternal divine presence. And for that, it was not just a tomb. It was the centerpiece of a ritualistic complex, a sacred landscape surrounded by temples, courtyards, and stone walls, symbolizing the pharaoh's eternal power. The impact of this pyramid was not limited to its religious purpose but also to how it forever changed the architecture of Egypt. Imhotep introduced innovative concepts that would become fundamental for the pyramids that followed, such as vertical construction and the use of limestone. This Step Pyramid was the beginning of it all, and the question many have always asked remains, how were these massive stone blocks lifted without cranes or modern tools? For decades, the theory of ramps dominated explanations. The idea was simple: build a ramp to transport the stone blocks to the top of the pyramid. However, as scientists began to study the scale of these constructions, doubts arose. How could the ramps be so large? Where were the traces of them? And the physics behind this system? The ramps, though tempting, didn't hold up well under the scrutiny of modern engineering. It was impossible to imagine such a large and complex system without leaving clear traces. But then, in 2024, a radical proposal emerged. What if the solution wasn't pulling the stones upwards, but raising them vertically from within the pyramid itself? The team of engineers, led by French researcher Xavier Landreau, challenged traditional logic and proposed that the Egyptians might have used water as a lifting tool. Yes, water. They believed that by using a system of wells and channels, it would be possible to lift the stone blocks without brute force, but with a clever hydraulic system. The idea seemed surreal, but the engineers weren't just dreaming. They used modern modeling and structural analysis technologies to test their theory. And what they discovered left everyone stunned. By using the force of water, the Egyptians could have lifted heavy blocks at each level of the pyramid, without the risk of collapsing or using vast amounts of material. Water would rise inside a central well, lifting a platform with the blocks. As the water rose, the platform would float, and the blocks would be raised, layer by layer, until the pyramid was complete. What seemed like just a bold idea became a real possibility. Digital simulations confirmed that this method would work. Even more impressive, traces found around the pyramid indicated that the Egyptians already had an advanced water management system. The landscape, which had previously seemed unexplained, now made perfect sense. The Egyptians controlled water to build, just as they controlled the Nile for agriculture. This discovery may not only change our view of the Step Pyramid but completely rewrite the history of ancient engineering. And if this revelation has already surprised you, leave a like so that more people can discover this story along with you. Less attention has been given to the problem-solving systems of ancient civilizations. The possibility that the construction of the pyramid may have been based on internal lifting engineering, rather than external effort, suggests that the intellectual achievements of this culture were underestimated. It wasn't just about what they built. What mattered most was how they thought about obstacles. This theory also highlights a blind spot in modern archaeology. For decades, historical explanations have been shaped more by tradition than by interdisciplinary testing. Engineers like Landro approached the pyramid not as a sacred monument, but as a logistical challenge. This new perspective revealed possibilities that traditional Egyptology never seriously considered. In this case, engineering may have done what archaeology alone could not: reverse the thinking of an ancient workforce. Equally revealing is how much this idea bothers some experts. The resistance demonstrates how deeply modern assumptions still shape our understanding of the past. We expect ancient societies to be impressive in scale but limited in science. The notion that they quietly applied principles of controlled buoyancy, balance, and water flow threatens that narrative. It asks us to reconsider who we call primitive and what counts as evidence of intelligence. The Step Pyramid may still hold physical secrets to be discovered, but the hydraulic theory has already opened a new path. This shows that the boundary between the ancient and the modern may not lie in tools or timelines, but in how problems are solved. And sometimes, the simplest solution, hidden in plain sight, is the most advanced of all. What do you think of this discovery? Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.